Hello there friends and welcome. For another very fun AEON video we have the battle against Baphomet, all on unfair of course, and in just a single round for that nice overpowered feeling. Baphomet is actually the first of the Demon Lords you face, and because of his very unique special skill Baphomet's Sword, well, let's just say if you don't know how to properly handle it, you're in for a very hard time on unfair, but I'll guide you along the way. Now as usual, it stands to reason you want your characters buffed to the max, although that will not help you against Baphomet. It will, however, against Hepzemirah, which you have to defeat before getting to him, as the battles are in sequence. And as always, I already have a guide on how to achieve super high attack bonus. You can check link to the site here or in the video description. My party used is the same as my Playful Darkness AEON video, so SEELAH as a pure paladin, our AEON mostly a Divine Hound, but he also has levels in Demon Slayer and Vivisectionist by now. SOSIEL a pure domain focused cleric, a SKALD mercenary, CAMELLIA for buffing, debuffing, and nice dual wielding, and DAERAN actually for the same purposes as well. Plus our 4 trusty pets that help a lot in this battle. So let's get into it, shall we? First with the necessary battle preparations. Alright, so before battle starts, you absolutely need to drop a guarded hearth. Somewhere around here is fine, which will cover both the Hepzemirah and the Baphomet battle. Both the save and attack bonus boosts from guarded hearth will highly help you against Baphomet, as on unfair, well, you'll be mostly debuffed. Don't forget to turn power attack off as well, since most of your buffs will disappear, but for Hepzemirah, be sure to have them all, just in case anyways. The Vision of Madness buff can also help a lot if your main character is immune to mind affecting, since it will buff your attacks but also reduce your saving throws by a lot. Because we are an AEON, Baphomet's overwhelming presence will not be able to hit us at all, thanks to our immunities. I won't pre-buff with Fortune Hacks just to show you it can still be done, so everyone is basically unbuffed without any hexes. SOSIEL only has his bit of luck from Divine Fortune Luck Domain Power, which lasts for quite a while. I also have CAMELLIA, DAERAN, and SOSIEL here, with Inspire Rage turned off, so their spells and domain powers won't be blocked by my SKALD Rage. And that's basically it, so let's start the battle with Hepzemirah first, as you have to defeat her anyways. And of course we are on unfair. Hepzemirah, she has pretty low armor class for unfair at this point. A lot of hit points though, but she falls very fast. She can also hit super hard, but like I said, she's mostly a glass cannon, so she'll get down ultra fast. Just focus on her with everyone, as this will end her battle and begin Baphomet's. Something I like doing with CAMELLIA here is to actually use Fortune Hacks just on my main character, the way it is intended, so during combat, without pre-buffing and all that. If we are lucky, it should last us for the Baphomet battle, which will help a lot. Just one character with Fortune Hacks when you hit as hard as your main character is all it takes. Yeah, Hepzemirah, it was even knocked down, and she already got defeated. Unfortunately, we were not able to get Fortune Hacks because of how fast she fell. So let's start the battle with Baphomet now. He was actually slow. Oh, he rolled a 1. He was actually slowed by our AEON Mythic cloak. I guess that's an unlucky Baphomet. Oh man. Well, you know, it happens. So Baphomet's main ability and his most dangerous power really is Baphomet's Sword. It actually dispels all the spell buffs from all of your party members, and he does this even before battle starts, so you can't really resist it at all. There's no way to avoid it. Basically, all of your buffs, you can check them here, all going away. However, do note, it only dispels spell buffs. That is, buffs that come from spells like your spellbook. Ability buffs will still remain on, which is why my AEON main character here still has his mutagen from Vivisectionist, Inspired Rage 2, a food buff, and of course the domain power, which makes them so important, including Vision of Madness and Guarded Hearth. Note that even when completely debuffed as far as spell buffs, we still have 66 attack bonus, except this is way higher in battle, as I'm about to show you. Anyways, Baphomet on unfair has a very high 85 armor class, only 59 flat-footed, but he does dispel your prideful aspects, so you can't really auto-shaken him, unless you cast it right now, which is something you can do. He does hit super hard as well, but his artificial intelligence isn't the best, I think. Because this is the first Demon Lord you fight, I guess they wanted to go soft on you. Instead of actually attacking, he uses some pretty disappointing spells. I mean, sometimes he can spam Storm Bolts, which is very deadly on unfair, but usually he wastes turns using like Unholy Blight, which is super weak. But anyways, I do believe his first move is always going to be a quick and overwhelming presence, which can be quite crippling for some parties. Let's see how that goes. Well, since we are an AEON, we want to turn both our Enforcing Gaze attack and also attacks of opportunity on. This will grant our whole party a massive boost to their attack rolls and double that on attacks of opportunity. When you combine the attacks of opportunity gaze with the ever ready mythic ability, you basically just destroy everything because they stack, right? So it's an extra 12 to AB just from them. So let's see if we can turn them on fast here. Unfortunately, you can't seem to turn them on at the same time. You have to wait a bit with one and then turn another. We'll get right into that. SEELAH can already set a Mark of Justice. If there's a battle where Mark of Justice can make the difference between defeat or victory, it's this one because you'll be mostly unbuffed. So the +9 to our AB from Mark of Justice is sure to seal Baphomet's fate. SOSIEL might as well use a touch of good on our main character and then he can just attack. Cam will drop an Evil Eye to reduce Baphomet's armor class. I'll have DAERAN unmount the pet here, he'll be here just for healing if needed, but I do think we're going to basically massacre Baphomet in one round anyways. It's going to depend on how many characters fail against his overwhelming presence, so I want DAERAN's artificial intelligence off to cast mass heal when needed. Right, so Baphomet already went for overwhelming presence, and he actually killed our pet because he ate an attack of opportunity. This can happen, like I said, usually attacks of opportunity are only when you are moving towards or past the enemy, and since Baphomet rolled pretty high on initiative and DAERAN dismounted his pet, well, poor Aroden died again. Just like against Playful Darkness, but it doesn't matter, we can just revive him afterwards. Both SEELAH and our main character are actually immune to overwhelming presence, which is amazing, as they also happen to be the most important characters of our party. Cam got a pretty low roll, unfortunately, she only needed an 8 to pass. The same for us SKALD, who rolled a 1, so yeah, quite unlucky. Even DAERAN failed too. Thankfully, all of our pets passed the save, they do have quite high will. I mean, our horse alone has 49. All because of the friend to animals, sacred boost from DAERAN's Nature Mystery. And since Guarded Hearth was nerfed in a way to provide resistance, it actually stacks with friend to animals, so this is why I say the nerf to Guarded Hearth in a few ways is more like a buff. It will also let your attack bonus stack with Touch of Good. So let's just turn our attack gaze on, right, it's on now. After that, the attack of opportunity gaze, like I said, you have to wait a bit to turn them both on, which is somewhat annoying. But now both of them are on. And we also want to turn our AEON Bane to dispel Baphomet. Now our judgments, and we can just attack basically. I think our AEON alone will highly damage Baphomet. Let's see how it goes. Right, so that's it, we already defeated Baphomet. So let's check what actually went in the combat log to see how we defeated Baphomet so fast. Like I said, he wastes time using Unholy Blight. I think he only goes for the Stormbolt spam afterwards, so it is in your best interest to defeat him as soon as you can. So our first attack out of 6 actually had a +87 bonus to attack, even without all of the spell buffs, which were dispelled by Baphomet's word. All of this here is basically just from abilities and other passives. We are missing the Demon Slayer soup recipe, I didn't really get it together with Conflagrant Taco for this run. Vision of Madness makes a big difference here, as you can see, because of a +9 untyped. But anyways, Baphomet only had 85 AC against us, and this is still missing SOSIEL's Touch of Good. Without Fortune Hex as well, Cam didn't manage to cast it on him, and we were still able to hit Baphomet with complete ease. Do remember, we still have a 20 roll to add to our 87 anyways. Also, our AEON Bane will attempt to dispel every single buff Baphomet has on every single one of our melee hits. This here just came from our first attack. Baphomet has 38 difficulty class for his buffs, so we have to roll a 13, which is somewhat high. But you know, it procs on every single one of our attacks. So chances are, any enemy, including the final boss who comes with 1000 of buffs, will get dispelled super fast by an AEON. Our first AEON attack was actually a critical hit, so that alone dealt 330 damage against Baphomet, which then procced an attack of opportunity from all our nearby allies who weren't stunned by overwhelming presence, thanks to outflank. This is where your Enforcing Gaze attacks of opportunity comes into play. Even our pet had 78 attack bonus when almost completely unbuffed, with spells anyways, while SEELAH got 81. Why? Because like I said, both ever ready and your Enforcing Gaze stacked for attacks of opportunity. One of the strongest combos you can have in the whole game. My main character attacked again, dispelled Baphomet once more. SEELAH attacked again, got a critical hit. This is why I prefer to go with scimitars with her instead of longswords. The higher your critical range, the higher the synergy with outflank and extra attacks of opportunity, which are truly what's powerful in Wrath of the Righteous. In the end, it didn't matter that our SKALD, CAMELLIA and DAERAN were stunned by overwhelming presence, and DAERAN's wolf died pretty much at the start of battle. We were still able to absolutely destroy Baphomet. Well friends, so this was it for my AEON against Baphomet run on Unfair and in just a single round as usual. As I'm close to reaching the end of the game with my AEON, the AEON guide is sure to come pretty soon, probably next week. As always, if you enjoy my content, please remember to like, subscribe and also consider becoming a channel member. Thank you for watching and see you next time, friends.